like had a different, I mean, do you think that like Berlin is as great, or is there like a difference between the way that you thought about your life here and the way your life is actually?
I didn't really have that clear of I just really wanted to get out of the place that I lived in, and I kind of saw Berlin as this saving kind of city. Yeah. So I didn't picture it in a day-to-day base. I just pictured, I was kind of hoping to find a certain feeling here, and I do, because within a day I just felt completely at home. The thing that I was unhappy about in Holland was that there was a lot of competition, and it's not as bad as it is in the rest of Holland, but we're really all about getting to the end result as fast as you can and as the best you can do.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of wanted to go back to just being in the process and making things just for the sake of making them, instead of going, oh, it has to be good. And because I experienced that as a songwriter, because sometimes something good comes out and you think, oh, I want to write another good song, but then when you think about it, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I was kind of stuck in that competition mode, and everything I did wasn't good enough for myself, so I wanted to just move to a place where it wasn't about the end result, but more, just being creative is good.
Do you think that you're happier with, because it's like, and you're not focusing on the end results, do you actually end up being happier with the end results?
Oh yeah, on some levels. Yeah, with music, not so much, but with the other creative things that I do experience that, yeah. Yeah, a lot. But it's a constant, because in the first 2 weeks, I wrote blogs, and I liked them, and I got some good responses. And then the next week, I had an idea for a blog, and I thought, oh fuck, what if it's not as good as the other one? Yeah. And I'm putting it up on my website, and oh shit. And then I really have to stop myself and think, like, I'm just gonna write it, and if it's crap, I won't use it. But it's good to just make it anyway. Yeah. Just to make it and learn and practice and whatever. So I do have to stop myself sometimes from thinking, oh, it has to be good, and then take a step back.
I kind of was thinking about a similar sort of thing yesterday. Last night when I was working, I started thinking about like like sometimes paintings, and not just paintings, probably songs and like anything or like things that you write. I think about them as like a haircut or something. Because if you get a really good haircut at the and you're sitting at the hairdresser and the hairdresser is like finished and you're like, oh wow, this is great, and you're really happy with it. And you'll probably always be happy with it. But sometimes you like go to the hairdresser and she cuts it and you're like, oh man, this is like not good. And she's like, oh, like just go home and sleep on it and you'll like it, just let it sit on you, and you're like, all right, maybe she's right. So you go home and you sleep on it for a little bit, and then you wake up and you look at yourself a bit more, and you're like, well, maybe she's right. It's not that bad. And you kind of get used to it. But then like 2 years later, you look at pictures from that time, and you're like, holy shit, that was a bad haircut.
Yeah.
So sometimes like I think about that, like when you're working on something so much, and you're just like, this is good, right? I think this is good. Okay, I'm happy with it, and you kind of convince yourself that it's good, and then like put it away, and a little bit later you're like, crap, that's not very good. But I guess you just keep doing it,
But I think that if you experience that it kind of means that in the time that you put it away, you kind of developed, you've grown, and then you go back and think, oh my god, I thought that was good, because I have that with my first songs as well. I was so happy about them. Yeah, I wrote a song, and I listened to them. I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the great things about creativity. You're never done learning, you're never done developing, because I think that who you are and what you experience are such a big part of whatever creative thing that you make.
Yeah. It's just too bad that like with art you always have to like have some sort of technical background.
Yeah. It's funny to me because I'm kind of experiencing the same thing. Because one of the first people I interviewed went to art school and she's a pretty good drawer. And then because I wanted to try that as well, but I don't have that much experience. And then I got really frustrated in the beginning, and then something came out, and I thought, oh, that looks okay for my level, like down there. But then after that, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do and how to start again. And so it's funny to me because now talking to you, I get inspired again to kind of go back to just kind of Because I think about doing it a lot. I'm like, I should do it. Why am I not doing it? It's not that I don't want to do it. It's just that I don't have the technical background, so I feel like I have to do so much work before I can finally be on a decent level. But that's just what you have to do.
Yeah, I guess so. It is just kind of what you have to do.